Right, here we are with young Daisy, the flat-coated retriever. Good girl, good girl, good girl, good girl. So one of the client's needs or requirements is for her to create distance between her and Daisy. Why? She rides a horse. So when she's out in the fields and the paddocks and all the country trails and all of that kind of jazz, Daisy goes with her. And Daisy loves it and has a wonderful time. But Daisy is just starting to get a little bit excited, a little bit kind of over-interested in the horse. So we're doing this to keep everybody safe. So Daisy, the flat-coat retriever, doesn't end up at the vet's because it's been trampled on by a horse. And the client, the horse rider, the owner, doesn't end up in A&E because, bless her heart, she's cracked something that she shouldn't have done. But as you can imagine, all we do is focus upon getting our dogs to come back to us. We don't want them to be interested at anything 200 yards away. We don't want them to be distracted. We want them to remain close. And when they are potentially distracted, we can, Daisy, come, sit, good girl. We can recall them so they're safe. But what we need to do is teach her the complete opposite. The fact that I'm telling you it's okay that you can go away. You can create some distance. I'm telling you that's all right. However, when I want you to come back to me, that still applies. Now that's quite a lot for her little mind to take on. So at one stage we want you to be here, we want you to be close because it's unsafe, we're near something that I don't want you to be too far away from me. But when we are out in the open, I want you to be free. I want you to go and have fun, but not too far. So there's a lot for her to absorb in her quite immature little mind. Daisy, come. Good girl. Sit. So every time she has come to us and heard that word come, we have rewarded her for doing that. So she is associated, every time I hear come, I'm going to get pleasure. So I'm going to come back. Then we start fading out the food. Don't want to keep feeding these dogs. But food, if they are food orientated, is a very, very quick, good motivator. And it allows us, with very little time, to gain progress. And then we just fade the food out. But what we need to do is teach her, and in this case we're going to use the word get on, what get on means. And get on means, I'm happy for you to create some distance between me and the horse, but I don't want you to go too far. So because we're putting temptation in her way, I want you to go away, but there's a risk there that you may be distracted, may get a scent and want to run off. Bearing in mind, we're sitting on a horse, so long lines aren't really an option. So we've got to rely on training. Now the client has done a really, really, really good job of keeping Daisy close when she's on the horse, food, giving her rewards, giving her food, etc., etc. But that isn't ideal in this case because we don't want her to spend 5 minutes foraging in the grass trying to find the bit of kibble or the bit of treat that's on there. We don't want her to do that, okay? So everything has pros and cons and you need to think about every situation that you want to train your dog for and come up with the best method to achieve as much as you can. So we want this dog to actually go away from us, okay? Come! She knows what that means. Sit. 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 Good girl. Now if I go, get on. Good girl. She will go a certain distance, but then she'll turn around to me and go, well, what do you want me to do? Because she doesn't have a clue. She's got no comprehension on what I want her to do with this new skill. So what I need to do is create some distance so she goes, oh, right, when I hear that new word of command, get on, it means I can run and there'll be distance between us. Daisy, come. Sit. Bit of food. Get on. And then we throw that. And then that enables us to create the distance that we want so that she can realise what is actually happening here. Daisy, Daisy, here, sit. Good girl. Bit of food. Daisy, get on. Okay, so then like with everything, we fade the food out. I'll give it a go. Let's see if it's enough. Daisy, here, good girl. Sit, sit. Come here. Sit. Good. Daisy, Daisy, sit. Good girl. Daisy, get on. get on. Okay, proves the point. We're not ready yet. We're not ready to come off the food. But my point is, if you've got a specific need or a requirement that you want your dog to do, you have to think of as many different options that you can to achieve that positive outcome, to get to where you want to go. Because like you've just seen there, 9 times out of 10, they'll go, what do you want? I don't get it. What do you want me to do? I do not understand what you actually require of me. So let's try it the other way now. Not too bothered about her sitting, because bearing in mind, we're going to be travelling. We're going to be trotting on a horse, all right? But the reason why I fed that sitting is so that I knew I had her engagement. I knew I had her focus, all right? So now she's looking at me. It's not so important. Daisy, get on. Okay, good girl, good girl, good girl. Okay, just an effective way there that I found, having messing around with tennis balls and all that kind of stuff, an effective way of getting her away from me, creating distance. And over time, we've got to rely here on her maturity, and over time she will get it better. This isn't going to happen overnight, but we're relying that the penny will drop. Oh, get on means I can run away, I can create distance, I can get away from the horse to create safety. Good girl, good girl, good girl. Come on in. Good girl, good girl. Good girl. Daisy, get on. Good girl. But like I said earlier, we are going to get rid of this food as quickly as possible, because what we don't want to do is for her, 1, to rely on it, and 2, to spend minute upon minute upon minute foraging in the grass trying to find a bit of food, when the owner on a horse has trotted on 200 metres, and then you're straight back to square one.